So I'm in my personal Google account and I'm in my gemini.google.com/app. As soon as you come in, you see some of the details of the new releases and you can go and check it out. But I'm saying no, thank you. And what I'm going to do is a deep research action here. So I already have my prompt. I structured it, and what I want to know it's a little bit about what's going on between Salesforce and ServiceNow and the race to be market leaders. So I have some specific objectives. I want to talk about the offering, pricing, language models, SWOT analysis. So very detailed prompt in there. And I think that's what the benefit is if you want to use deep research. You want to make sure that you craft your prompt as detailed as possible. Otherwise, just use whatever other assistant that can give you that value. So when I go ahead and submit that prompt, one thing I have to mention is that in order to do that deep research, you need to make sure that this is selected. And then you see that there's an actual also a Canva action here as well. That's something that I'll show you guys in a minute. But yeah, so what it's doing is just thinking. And you can see that there's a plan. So it's going to go through my prompt. It's going to research some of the websites. Here, if you expand this, it shows you the prompt itself. So very detailed. And it's going to analyze results and create the report. If you want to change anything, you can go ahead and edit the plan. I'm going to start the research there. And it expands and opens a window here where it's going to tell me everything about that report. So it's going to take a few minutes. So you can go ahead and do your other job. Depending on the level of detail and the type of research that you're doing, you can take anything from 2 minutes to 10 minutes from what I've tested. But then it just shows you a little bit of the reasoning and all the different websites. Part of the constraints that was put in the prompt is to make sure that they're reliable sites and not just kind of bots and whatnot. But then once this is done, it's going to output a very nice report. Okay, so I come back and this thing still doing some research. It's been about 15 minutes. So if I refresh, I can see that it is quarter of the way there. And then shows you a little bit of the thinking. So I did put a lot of input and detail into my prompt. So you can see all the different breakdowns. So it's definitely too much detail into the prompt. So keep that in mind. I think the one thing that is pretty cool is that just think about going through all these different websites. This would take us hours and hours upon hours. So it's just tremendous and pretty sweet. Okay, I can see that I'm almost there. And if I look and scroll all the way down, yeah, we're on the final stage of the research. So almost there. Okay, so about 18 minutes later, we got the report. So as you can see, it's pretty substantial. And here are the utilities that I'm talking about. So the first one is that I can just in one click go ahead and export these to a Google Doc, which is pretty cool, right? Like if you do it in Perplexity or in ChatGPT, you have to copy and paste and formatting is horrible. So it just like one click, it generates the report. I have to go through all of that, and then it tells me all the different works that you went through. So it went through a total of 150 news sources, which is pretty sweet. Another thing that we can do, and I can see the new feature is this Canva option. For those who work with Claude, this is pretty common, but this is new here for Gemini. And if I look at maybe utilizing the Canva, I can click on it and say something like, hey, this content is great, but it's a lot to consume. Can you make the content into an interactive web app with tabs so I can go through the content in a more effective way? So once I put the prompt in there, because I have the Canva selected, it opens up the Canva. And then, like I said, similar to what we see on Claude, it just creates a quick little interactive app. So you have the intro, it tells you a little bit of how the content will be structured. And then I can tell it, yeah, this is great. Make sure to utilize the content produced on the deep search report. So let's see how that does it. So if I flip over to the code, right, so I can export that, which is great. The other thing that I think is pretty cool is, yeah, of course, you can copy the content, or you can, move it to, whatever the application you're working, or you can generate the audio overview. If you have used Notebook LM, you're probably familiar with this audio. Okay, so what that does, let's create a new chat in Canva and say, using the content, I'll be providing, please create an interactive web app where I can easily work through and consume this content. Here is the content. Great, so it just makes it a little bit more dynamic to work through. And I can iterate on this. I can say something like, this is a good start, but I would like to put navigation tabs at the top, so it's easy to move through the content. Cool. So now I can move through it a little bit easier and faster. And the coolest thing too is that I can go ahead and share that link and share with everybody else. So pretty sweet. I'll hope this is helpful and hope you can find new stuff.